listening to S1Live, Sheffield's #1 student radio show.
Hey, it's Tom. Welcome to S1Live. First things first, I need to explain what we did last night. We went out to Bonds, have a bit of fun. Things got a little bit crazy. We have some very hungover presenters in the studio, guys. How are you feeling?
Oh, not my best, if I'm honest.
No, not great.
but that aside, we have got a cracking show coming up today here on the programme. We're talking all things that go bump in the night with producer Jen. No, not that. Come on. Our producer Jen has been out investigating all things ghostly here in Sheffield.
Hey, it's Jade. Also coming up on today's show, as the nights begin to draw in, our reporter Dave has been out on the streets of Sheffield to discuss the homeless situation of today.
Hey, it's Will. Also coming up this week, with Sheffield Hallam University being labelled within the top 5 of the booziest universities here in the UK, and one-night stands becoming ever norm for students, have attitudes towards sex and alcohol changed? All this coming up later on the show.
Hey, this is Tom, and you're listening to S1Live.
Just before we move on to find out the latest headlines, as Tom mentioned yesterday, we did go out. Now, if we can get around 20 tweets, that's what we're asking for, of all the things that we discussed today. There's a little video of Tom dancing last night, which is definitely worth the watch, but we'd like to hear from you, so that's a bit of an incentive for you to get in contact with us. Tweet us at S1Live, and we'll hopefully post that if you guys get in contact with us at the end of the show.
Please don't do it. Please don't do it. It doesn't need to be broadcast, honestly.
It's worth it, I promise you. So tweet us at S1Live or contact us via Facebook. All that coming up for you on the programme today first, but here's Vanessa with a roundup of today's latest news headlines.
News.
I'm Robbie Bake and this is S1Live's news. A radio station has made a hoax phone call to the hospital where Kate Middleton is being treated. They pretended to be the Queen, Prince Charles, and even made the sound of corgis barking in the background. The Australian radio station 2Day FM managed to convince staff who gave out confidential information on air.
Numbers going in. Oh jeez, I hope this happens.
Hello, good morning. King Edward VII Hospital.
Oh, hello there. Could I please speak to Kate, please, my granddaughter?
Oh, yes, just hold on, ma'am.
Thank you.
Are they putting us through?
Yes.
If this has worked, it's the easiest prank call we've ever made.
Meanwhile, Prince William is currently visiting Kate at the hospital. She has acute morning sickness. The family of a 4-year-old girl killed when the car she was in was hit by a train on a level crossing have paid tribute to her. Emma Livesey was airlifted to Sheffield Children's Hospital but died yesterday. A woman in her 60s who was in the car suffered neck injuries. Emma's parents said, "She meant the world to us. We are still trying to come to terms with a terrible incident. There are no words that can properly express how utterly distraught we are." It's been 20 years since the first text message was sent. 3 million messages are sent every hour in the UK. The first text message was sent by a Canadian engineer in 1992, simply reading "Merry Christmas." We've been asking people in Sheffield what they love and hate about texting.
My best text messaging experience is when I was in year 7 and I asked the girl I fancied to go out with me and she said yes, via text.
My best text is probably from my best friend to tell me she was getting engaged and that he asked and she said yes and the wedding's going to be next year and I'm maid of honour.
The best text I've received was from my dad when he said that my little brother was born.
When I met my current boyfriend and we'd sort of gone out on a date and he texted me saying that he really liked me and it was just a really nice text. My worst texting experience has got to be dumping my boyfriend via text. I think I was about 15 and it was my first boyfriend and I just felt like just a horrible person after that.
I had a text from my friend saying something bad about another friend and then I forwarded it to the person who she was saying something bad about accidentally.
On the way to Birmingham on the train, because of the companies linking together, like 2 different companies, and that was like EE, I couldn't quite get signal through and I didn't receive any text, so I had to wait at the train station for like 45 minutes.
And I've sent a lot of accidental texts to the person I'm talking about that I didn't really mean to send to them.
Every time I text my mum, she always texts in like coding and I have to always like try and decode that.
In university news, it's Rag Week at Sheffield Hallam. All week long, students will be doing wacky things to raise money for charity. These include a dance-off, Sheffield Hallam's very own Take Me Out, a sleepover to raise awareness for homelessness, and a Christmas fair. That's your latest. I'm Rabia Baig.
Hi, I'm Will. Follow us on Twitter at S1Live. We're going to head now live over to Aberdale Road, and our sports reporter Sam Ashley has a roundup of today's latest sports headlines. Sam.
Hello, yes, I'm at the Aberdale Sports Centre. It's a bit cold, it's a bit windy, but I'm here to join the boys who are playing in the cross. News-wise, we have, in sport, Frankie Dettori has been given a 6-month ban from racing after failing a drugs test. The British-based Italian rider, who made history by riding all 7 winners on one card at Ascot in 1996, has taken responsibility for his failed test. His solicitor has today said he accepts that he has let down the sport that he loves and all those associated with it, as well as the wider public. In football, Manchester City crashed out of the Champions League after Julian Schieber's 57th-minute goal helped Borussia Dortmund to a 1-0 win over Premier League champions, whilst Arsenal failed to win their group after a 2-1 loss to Greek champions Olympiacos. That's your sport latest. I'm Sam Ashu.
Sam, thank you very much. We'll be back to Sam for more sports news later on in the programme.
Hi, I'm Jade and you're listening to S1Live.
Blimey, I didn't like the look of that. That was a scene from the terrifying Poltergeist horror Paranormal Activity 4. Well, if you think that's far-fetched and completely unbelievable, think again. But students here at Hallam may have come across something spooky in the collegiate campus library. The story goes that a young girl was murdered there when she was pushed down the large spiral staircase back in the 19th century when the building was a private mansion. Students have reported paranormal encounters with the girl on the staircase, as such being watched, being followed and suddenly feeling cold. Our reporter Jen went out to investigate the paranormal activity in Sheffield. Jen, what have you found out?
I have been out with Steel City Ghost Tours and actually learnt that Sheffield hasn't always thrived on a vibrant student population. It was actually a very different place back in the 19th century. Now, studies have found that the average life expectancy for men and women living in the town centre would have actually been just 21 3/4. So we're all pretty much dead. Many reports of paranormal activity in Sheffield are actually related to this time period. And here Mr. P. Dreadful explains why.
We're one of the biggest cities in the country, one of the oldest cities in the country. And when I say oldest, I mean we became a city in the late 19th century, but before then we were a collection of villages. And as you know, villages have history that go right back through history. And we've had 2 world wars, the Industrial Revolution, the Agricultural Revolution. We've had accidents, we've had 2 world wars. So over this time period of maybe about 500, 600, 700 years, the ghosts have started to mount up for accidents in the steelworks. We've had murder, rape, pillage. We were the most violent city in the United Kingdom at one point, and life was cheap in this city.
Now, I also asked Mr. P. Dreadful to offer his theory on why only some people can see ghosts and why others can't.
Well, to be honest, there's not really a definitive answer to that question, but over the 8 years that we've actually been doing these ghost walks, we get a lot of people who come and tell us that they can see ghosts, and they've been able to see ghosts since they were younger than what they are when we speak to them. And we've actually started asking questions like, are you ill? And I don't mean mentally ill, I mean, and we usually get the answers, well, I've got asthma, or I've got diabetes, or I've had a near-death experience, or something wrong with my eyes.
Now, people right across the board of paranormal belief actually do question why only some people can see ghosts. Now, here in the studio today, we've got David Clark, who is, can we call him a cynic on paranormal experiences? And also on the phone, we've got Brenda Diskin, who is an internationally acclaimed medium. Brenda?
Hi.
Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Jenny.
Hiya. Thanks for talking to us today. Now, Brenda, can you tell us a little bit about your job, what you do?
Well, first and foremost, I am a medium, but I also have a degree in parapsychology, so I have got a bit of the scientific side to things as well. So I do look at it from both angles. We go out, we investigate reports of hauntings, etc., and we try to find out if there is a valid case for investigation, or whether it might just be that the person themselves is either imagining it, or perhaps is psychic themselves and therefore picking up on things that are around them. Basically, that's it.
We actually have a clip of my friend who has had haunted experiences. She doesn't believe in ghosts herself. Becky told us about, these kind of strange, mysterious things happening in her house.
Sometimes the cutlery drawers shake and you hear breathing in some of the rooms, the animals stare at things, and sometimes you hear a lot of footsteps walking around, and then you go look outside and there's nobody there, and that's a bit creepy. But it's not too bad because we've lived there for 15 years, so we're quite used to it, and I think if it was going to get us, it would have done something bad by now.
Brenda, can you kind of shed some light onto the kind of things that are actually happening in Becky's house?
Without actually going there and actually talking to her properly and doing, a full investigation, I would say that I would want to have a look first of all and make sure that there are no outside reasons for these things happening. You're talking about possibility of subsidence, things like that could lead to something like that happening. So ruling all that out, I would say that I would also like to look into the person's background, see if they have been picking up on things like this since they were a child, or if things have been happening like this around them since they were a child. And once we've established whether this is so, then I would be looking deeper into the occurrences. I would want to go along and monitor the situation over a period of time and see if we can experience the phenomena ourselves to find out whether it is actually a haunting or whether it is due to some other cause.
Okay, David, what's your take on this?
Well, I'm just interested to hear the thing about using scientific method to get to the bottom of these things, because what irks me is that the fact is, regardless of whether people believe in ghosts or not, there is no evidence for dead people coming back. So if you're going to say, right, I'm going to do a scientific investigation, if you're going to do a proper scientific investigation, that requires people making extraordinary claims to produce extraordinary evidence. Now, if you set out with a prior belief in the existence of spirits and ghosts, etc., and you're setting out to try and find proof for the existence of ghosts and spirits, etc., that is not a valid way of doing a scientific investigation.
Very interesting. Well, thank you for talking to us, Brenda and Dave, and that's all we've got time for.
Okay, thank you very much.
Do send us your thoughts on ghosts and paranormal experiences. Have you had any experiences yourself? Tweet us your stories at S1Live.
Hi, I'm Will. Follow us on Twitter at S1Live. We've discussed many things so far today. Do please keep sending us your thoughts. We've had loads of tweets about the Tom video. It's the most discussed point today.
Why? There's so many more interesting things going on.
I don't think so.
We still need about 10, 15 more tweets. So if you're in the newsroom or you're anywhere listening to this, send us those tweets and we'll get that video to you. I promise you, it's definitely worth it. Also, a couple of pictures of Tom dancing as well. So
is there?
There's loads. So
oh god,
lovely. I think the more you tweet, the more stuff that we can reveal from last night. Not like that. That's that topic, and that actually leads us really well. See that? I'm such a pro. That leads us straight to Jade. He's going to be discussing alcohol, sex, and one-night stands.
Yeah, well, Sheffield Hallam University has actually been named within one of the top 5 booziest unis in the UK. Are you surprised, guys, at all?
No, not really. No, it's one of those things, particularly when you're a fresher, when you're in halls first year, there's a lot of banter in about the house. And I remember when I was a fresher, we had a board up on our fridge, had all our names on there, and we got like a tally of how many we'd got with, and certain people did very well, certain people didn't do very well.
What, drinking?
Drinking and one-night stands, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because that leads into the other thing. Obviously, there's a lot of one-night stands happen from all these boozy nights out, which has become a bit of a problem really now. Well, it's whether you think it is a problem or not. Do you think that people are taking sex and alcohol too lightly really now? Like, there doesn't seem to be much stigma attached to any of these things, I don't think.
I don't know, because there are lots of different student nights that people go on. You always see Carver Street, which is always very busy. The amount of clubs that are in Sheffield, the amount of alcohol which is available is endless, with bargain booze as well. Sainsbury's do discounts. And I think when you mix that in with potential one-night stands, it is going to create more and more of them.
Why do you think it's got such a bad stigma? You know, if you look at why can't it be something that people go at? Yeah, okay, it's something. You know, it's something that I do and it is stuff and stuff. Why does it have to be like a bad thing?
Because at the end of the day, I don't think many people do frown upon it that much anymore. Like, I know that I live in a house with 5 girls, and I'd say, oh, don't quote me on this, but I'd say most nights we go out, one of the girls pulls, I would say. And I don't think we frown upon it that much, but I think some people do. But I suppose if you're safe with it, then maybe it doesn't matter as much, but...
Do you reckon girls and guys have got different attitudes towards this?
I was going to say, is it like a badge of honour with a guy, but it's not with a girl?
Oh yeah, like if a guy sleeps with 20 girls, it's like, oh yeah, lad. Whereas if I turned around and said to you guys, oh, I've slept with, like, I don't know, 20 odd people, I think you'd all be disgusted in me.
I think another thing as well is that a lot of people that I know boast about it when they've come back off a one night stand. It just sort of, why? There's no need to do that. There's no need to do it.
We were with someone last night that was boasting about how much.
Yes, we were, but that person will remain nameless.
Do send us your
37,
thoughts.
Get out.
As clean as they could possibly be, so hopefully read some of them out. Your attitudes towards that. But no names, please, don't go upset anyone.
Anyway, no doubt they won't be putting that statistic on the prospectus anyway of universities, will they? Hi, I'm Jade and you're listening to S1Live.
Time check, and it is. I can't actually see the clock at the minute. What is it?
3:33.
It is 3:33. 33. It is 3:33.
Twee.
Today, our sports reporter Sam Ashu is down at Aberdale Sports Club, as you know, watching the lacrosse for us. Sam, are you still there?
Hello, I am still there. I haven't frozen to death just yet. It's rather cold out here.
Good. It's probably just the alcohol shivers from last night, to be honest.
Maybe so. We won't talk about last night. Yes, as I said, I'm at the Aberdale Sports Centre. It's a rather empty Aberdale Sports Centre at the moment, actually, because most of the events have been called off, which is unfortunate.
You're joking.
However, I caught the end of the top of the table clash between the men's first lacrosse team of Sheffield Hallam versus Manchester University, and I can tell you it is one brutal game. It finished 7-5, great result for the Hallam, and I've got one of their key men here. Otis is here to talk to us. Otis, how'd you find the game?
Yeah, it started off quite slowly. I needed warming up a bit, I think. We put a couple of points in the first half, got the ball moving around a lot more, which was good. We took a few hits on defence, so we had a couple of injuries, but we had a few subs, so that was okay.
Now watching this game, I'm shocked at how brutal it is. I cannot. I mean, I was watching you there. You must have been hit a good 3 or 4 times. We're talking hard metal sticks here, guys. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. I couldn't do it myself. How'd you cope with these hits?
Well, I guess it's pretty fast-paced, and your adrenaline's pretty high up there, and then most of us have done contact sports from a young age, and then you do have to wear helmets and gloves, but I mean, after training, they train you for it, and then in the game, you don't really think about it because you're moving so fast.
Do you ever lose your temper, go over the ball a bit?
That happens quite a lot, yeah. You get the odd scrap, but you just get sent off for 2 or 3 minutes, then you come back on, and then if you do it again, you're going to get sent off the rest of the game.
Well, what would you say to people listening out there now that were potentially interested in playing lacrosse? How would you sell it to them?
It's a great sport to get into. It's new. It's like incredibly fast-paced. It's like great team sport. Nothing better really than a good win, and just it's such a new thing to do if you've only played English sports typically, and then it takes a while to get used to just handling the stick. But once you got that down, then it is all up from there.
Brilliant. Cheers, matey. Thank you for waiting in the cold as well. That's Otis Parsons there, one of the men's first lacrosse team for our Hallam boys. Great result for them. Well played.
Sam, could I just jump in quickly? Is Otis still with you?
Otis is still with me. Yes, he's off to sign a few autographs. I'll bring him back away from the crowd.
Yeah, if you could just drag him away from all his fans for a second. I just want to ask him a question. Is he with you?
Yeah, he certainly is. Otis, I've got Tom here for you. Ask away.
If there are any listeners who want to get involved in lacrosse, how do they do that?
If there are any listeners wanting to get involved in lacrosse, how do they do that?
Just turn up to like the sports fair for Hallam, and then just get involved as like a have a go day, and then you just have a go, have a chuck around with some of the more experienced players, and then you just turn up to freshers training, and they'll start you from the beginning and help you through until you're ready to play.
Is there a Facebook page or Twitter page or anything like that?
A Facebook page or Twitter page you mentioned?
Yeah, there is a Facebook page, yeah, Hallam's Men's Lacrosse on Facebook, yeah.
Excellent.
Brilliant. So our listeners now know why to get involved, because if getting hit around the knees 5 times in a game can't tempt you in the cold weather, then I don't know what will. But that was Otis there. Brilliant. Thank you for that.
Cheers, Sam. Cheers, Sam. Right. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Hi, I'm Will. Follow us on Twitter at S1Live. Thank you very much. Right, moving on to our final story today, and with homelessness becoming an ever greater problem and the winter nights becoming ever colder, our reporter Dave has been looking into the problem and he joins me now live.
Yeah, thank you very much, Will. So it's currently Raise and Give or Rag Week here in Sheffield. And here at S1Live, we want to do our own bit to raise awareness and, help the homeless, especially with Christmas fast approaching. And, like you say, the night's getting a whole lot colder. So to really get into the issue, I'm joined in the studio by Martin, who was in fact homeless and is currently a client and helps out at Ben's Centre, which provides free food, amenities and help for homeless and specifically street drinkers, you were saying earlier. So nice to meet you, Martin. Thank you very much for coming. So could I start off by asking about your situation? How did you become homeless in the first place?
The reason why I become homeless is start my family problems. I'm divorced with my wife. I coming to this country. I try change my life, and my plans don't go very well. And I've been in some stress. I got some depressed. I lose the ground under my feet, and I start using alcohol because alcohol working like some kind of mental painkiller. And I start using this too much alcohol, and in consequences of this I lose my job, and that means I don't get the money for living expenses. That means rent, food, nothing. And I've been homeless. I've been on street, and when I've been on street, it's very difficult to survive on street, especially on winter time. And I start drinking more, to don't feel a pain, don't feel a
keep
scare.
me warm.
Yeah, keep me warm. And another problem, the drinking problem after this, and I looking at help in some institution, and I find a help in Turning Point and in Ben's Centre, and these people to help me with my alcohol addiction. Especially Turning Point to find me accommodation. I live in my place now from more than 1 year. All things going good. As soon I start some kind of health and social care course because I want I want find some kind of proper permanent job and change my life. Change my life and. I don't know, bring my life back.
Oh, brilliant! Well, yeah, like you say, you are currently in your own accommodation, aren't you?
Yeah,
which is amazing. How long were you homeless for?
It's difficult to say because I've been homeless. I got some accommodation. I stay in some friend's flat. Then I've been homeless again. I'm in UK 5 years. On this period of time, I think I've been on street a year and a half.
Wow.
All together, yeah, it's horrible. Believe me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, we were talking earlier, and you were telling me about the violence that you've actually encountered whilst living on the streets.
Yeah, especially at weekend time because it's many people is after use alcohol or drugs and just I don't know. The homeless person or drunk person, this is an easy target for people, and you can be the victim of violence just for fun for somebody. Some can smash you without reason.
It's horrible, isn't it? It's absolutely disgusting. Yeah. So I was talking to a lad called Ben, called Mark, yesterday, a homeless gentleman. Yeah. And he was basically telling me all about his situation because it's not always alcohol and drugs, is it? It can be various things that leads people onto the streets. So this is basically his situation.
I was a carer for my mum for 2 years while she had cancer, and house what she was in, we had to get out within 7 days because it was a council house, and council got me out within 7 days. So I've been on streets ever since.
So as you heard there, this lad Mark, who actually you may have seen him sitting on the steps by the Owen building before, and he was forced out of his council house due to his mum having cancer, looking after her, and not being able to afford the rent, after a certain time. So he's been on the streets for 9 months. Are there lots of situations like this?
some people don't accept any help from institution. What I talked before about this institution, because even if council guarantee for you accommodation, you must stop drinking, you must stop use a drug, you must change your lifestyle, because you live in some shared accommodation or something like this. You must keep this accommodation clean, you must care for yourself hygiene or something like this. You must be quiet person, you must live with some rules, and some people don't accept these rules, and this is the reason why some people is homeless, because some people is homeless because it's some life situation, and some people is homeless because it's choice.
Sorry, Tom's just
I'm just
got a
desperate
question
to ask you a question. You talked about how alcohol was basically a poisoner, and you learnt the hard way.
Yeah.
When you hear us joking and laughing about a night out and drinking quite a lot of alcohol, do you think we take it for liberty?
Yeah.
Do you think we drink too much then?
What I can say, don't understand me wrong, I've been in many European countries, and I don't see before the much more drinking in any other country like in UK. Sorry. No, this is true. I don't know why the Polish people got opinion about heavy drinkers, or Scandinavian people got opinion on heavy drinkers, because I've been in few Scandinavian countries, and believe me, the UK is the worst.
Really? Incredible.
Sorry.
Wow, that's incredible.
Don't
apologise.
It's true.
No, absolutely, don't apologise. But yeah, so what would you like to say to the people listening out there now? Just in regards to homelessness, if you could say something to change people's views on how they regard the homeless, and especially coming up to Christmas, what would you say to people?
What I can say is, this country, they offer a very good social care for homeless people, and lots of these people don't take this help, don't expect this help. Yeah, especially now, because the Christmas time is coming, just because some people don't see homeless people on the street. Yeah. What I can say, just try talk with these homeless people. Try say, because some of homeless people lose a hope to change his life. Just try talk with these people. Try say something to
build the spirits.
Yeah,
and make them
build
feel better,
the spirit.
Especially this time of year. Yeah.
For fight for self.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Was there any days for you that stick out when you were homeless at all, when people were a bit nice to you? Does it just help you get through that day a bit more?
Days. I never looking help on street. I just using institutions like Cathedral Archer Project and Turning Point.
Yeah.
And Band Center. I never ask somebody on street. I never begging for money or something like that. That's the answer for this question can be difficult for me.
Right, I see. Okay. I'm afraid we're going to have to cut it short. It's been absolutely wonderful talking to you. Right. And anyone out there listening, do think next time you see a homeless person on the street, especially so close to Christmas. But thank you very much, Martin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin. You've been an inspiration. Thank you. Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Please do keep sending us your tweets. We've had lots of them, especially about the Tom video. I know that it's a bit of fun, everyone. But if you've got any more questions or anything, I'm sure we can get them discussed any of the time. Send them out via Twitter and stuff. So do please keep sending us your thoughts. It's great to have a really busy Twitter feed today. It does really help. Let us know what you think about a lot of the stories that we've been discussing here today.
Hey, this is Tom, and you're listening to S1Live.
Right, just before we go, Will, how many tweets do we have regarding this video?
We have, if I count now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 11. So
11.
I think
on that basis, then we can't broadcast.
No,
it,
I think we can.
Why?
I think
I'm going to make a solemn promise now. The next time I go out and I see one member of the Big Shoot Part 2, it's going on Facebook.
Producer Jenny, are we allowed to put the video up? Producer Jenny's nodding.
She's giving the thumbs up.
So I'm afraid the video going up, Tom. So by the end of the day, it will be up. Check us out on Facebook. It will be on there first. It's at S1Live. If you like us on there, you'll be able to see it.
And coming up on next week's show, we have a detailed look into the expected end of the world, or is it happening next week? Interesting topic, no doubt.
Anyone interested in the Tom video, that will be online. Also, check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Have a great week, and we'll be back the same time next week.
Bye.
Tom, this is just for you.
S1Live.